Oh, do you have a definiteness of purpose? Have you decided once and for all exactly what you're going to do? Well, let me tell you something. This is where we're headed. Okay, so my name's Scott Keeler with Solution Wolf, and today in the Table Talks, we're going to be talking about the master key to riches, and we're going to be going over some of the first section. It's kind of a redo of a video I made on my phone, and I unfortunately I think I have some issues with my phone. It's an older phone, so some of the quality wasn't really up to speed. So I'm going to try and redo that table talk in the form that it was, and kind of share some of my thoughts with it. You know, this is a book that I have been reading through during lunch breaks and studying real hard, and I've kind of came into this series of table talks just to talk about some of the personal development ideas that some people totally miss. And one of the first things that he says is he looks for somebody that has a definiteness of purpose. Now, the other thing is going the extra mile. And we talked a little bit about going the extra mile. I'll talk a little bit more in the next video. But when Napoleon Hill sat down with Andrew Carnegie, and just a little backstory, Andrew Carnegie was the mentor behind all of the information of Think and Grow Rich. He had 17 principles, which Napoleon Hill basically whittled down to 13. He condensed some of them and introduced Napoleon to the likes of Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, Franklin Roosevelt. Andrew Carnegie had the insight to know that it was going to take somebody many years to put down the formulas for success. And Napoleon Hill did this. And to his credit, he got rewarded handsomely after it was all said and done. Think and Grow Rich has sold mind-boggling amounts of copies in, I think, 39 different languages. It's just astronomical. 20 years later, as he continues his research, 20 years after Think and Grow Rich, he comes up with the master key to riches, where he expands just a little bit more on what really it takes to grab that master key to riches. And as I'm finding out, I myself have read the book, and that's all I did was read it. I didn't study it. And when I study the definiteness of purpose and I look at it in my own life, I find out that I didn't really, even though I thought I had a definiteness of purpose, I didn't really have that much of one. But what I did find is when I really looked at my life and kind of reflected on it, when I did have a definiteness of purpose and was focused in on it, I did rather well at a lot of few things. I think when I was 12 or 13 years old, my definite purpose was to become a millionaire in life. Problem was that purpose kind of came and went with the wind. You know, any kind of glittering rock and roll type thing that came along was my new definiteness of purpose. And actually, it really wasn't anything. It was just a lot of ideas that I really wanted to pursue. So in what I thought was my main goal, my main drive, changed so many times. I think I have like 9 of them. And as I reflect on it, I go, that's not one definiteness of purpose. That's 9 cluttered kind of theatrical things. Somebody who is, good at everything is master of none. That's kind of the philosophy. And Napoleon Hill, Andrew Carnegie, they both, when he started to unravel what really caused people to succeed and fail, what he found out is that most people just did not have that definiteness of purpose. And so as I went through my life, I said, well, what has happened to me that has kind of caused some of this? And I go back to, some of my upbringing. Some people's story will be different, but mine was my wonderful mother, bless her heart. Her attitude was, when the going gets tough, quit. That's a philosophy that I took on for quite a while, that it was really hard to change. My dad and my brother were both driven to be basketball players and coaches. They were so driven. They were terrific. Both of them got a 4-year scholarship to Eastern Washington University, playing basketball. My dad, in his senior year, blew out his knee. My brother blew out his knee in his junior year, but both were terrific. They both went on to become teachers and coaches, and they were excellent at what they did. And that is what they wanted to pursue. That is what drove them. That is what was on their mind. I know for my brother, for a fact, it was all he could think about: eat, drink, and sleep. That's coaching, teaching, coaching. That's what he wanted to do. With me, it wasn't quite so much. There was a time, though, when kind of a funny story. I played basketball, all through high school, except my senior year. I decided that, it didn't look like I was going to be a starter. So I kind of pouted, and hey, I'm like a lot of people. My attitude was really sucked in in my early part of my life. And I, said, I'm not going to play. I'll teach them a lesson. And, the team was terrible, and there was a few of us that didn't play. And boy, we really showed them. But, whatever, life went on, and nobody even knew the difference. So, but the next year I went to college, and I was bound and determined to play college basketball to prove that they made a mistake, kind of rubbing me the wrong way. That's kind of how I wanted to lay it down. But to make a long story short, focused. I made the college basketball team. I never played a game, though. And why? Is because, like my brother and my dad, my knees were bad, but my ankles were also terrible. So anyway, moving on. Later on in life, as I kind of drifted through, I wanted to become a rock and roll superstar. And there was this college called Green River, and they had a music company that they put together. You had to audition for 2 years, man. That was my mission. I wanted to be on that team. But the problem is that, I wasn't as advanced as a lot of the people that have already were on there. So it was a tryout every year. And I remember going to that college the first year and working on, getting a chance to try out for this. And I tried out as a singer and a guitar player and a piano player, and I failed at all three because piano, I didn't quite know how to read music good enough, even though I took music theory. I was just too slow at it. Guitar, I wasn't quite as talented as a lot of the people that they have. And same thing with being a singer. However, they created a spot for me, a brand new spot, a synthesizer player, where I got to do a little bit of all of it. And so happy that I got to do that. I made my goal. It was a great thing. And towards the end of the year, the going got tough. So what did I do? I quit. Not proud of it. In fact, that's one of the big regrets that I have in life, that I quit before I ended the final year, so I didn't get credit for that final part of the program. The last program we did, I wasn't featured enough in it, and I pouted, and I was like, I should get to do more, because I had been doing more in some of the previous stuff. And so I kind of took that as a personal insult. But again, back to the thing of definiteness of purpose, is I found that when I was really focused on it, I willed a way to be on that traveling showcase Green River Music Company. And what we did is we trained to be a Las Vegas show group. Now, go further on down the road, I'm with McDonald's. I, won't go into all the details, but I ended up at McDonald's. There was a thing called Hamburger University, and yes, it really does exist. And they send people there, and you had to be there before you became a store manager. And when I went there, there was you had to have in the top 20% to get on the honor roll. That was the big deal, get on that honor roll. And but there was a #1 prize, and they called it the Archie. And the Archie was for the #1 student overall. There was like 75 United States students and 75 from other countries. So 150 students altogether in the #1 prize. And man, I said, heck with being on the honor roll. I want to be #1 out of all that. So I failed. I took second. I took second out of 150 people. And I was very proud of that. And I thought I did great. But, the thing of it is, the point is definiteness of purpose. When I was focused in on it, I accomplished it and I did it. Problem was, I would lose that focus. I would lose that definiteness of purpose. And as I've went through life and kind of went to this point and that point and other points, I realize now that definiteness of purpose is such a vital key to everything that happens, in my life and in everybody else's, because it's not just me. It's what has been developed through the masters that have studied successful people. And now I'm excited to apply this to Solution Wolf and the recent digital marketing program that I've been working on. And I can't wait to expand on the results. And I'm, so thankful that I've come across some of these great people that I have been in contact with. And so a couple of things at the end of this. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button and like it, and share some comments, or hit don't like and share some comments why you don't like it. But I would appreciate either one. And the other thing, I'll provide some links in the description of this video of some of the masters of digital marketing and what's going on today, and how you too can take advantage of this optimal thing that is happening with technology in the 21st century that could make your life a lot easier. And I'll just leave you with that. I hope you have a fantastic day. I look forward to seeing you in some more table talks. Again, Scott with Solution Wolf. Bye.